Tourism is an important part of Jamaica's economy because of the island's warm climate and year-round sunshine, its beaches, and beautiful landscape. Many thousands of people from all over the world come here each year for a holiday. Jamaica's tourism had its beginning in the later part of the 19th century when invalids started coming to Jamaica to escape the cold winters in England and North America. The first tourist hotels were built in Montego Bay and Port Antonio. The now defunct Myrtle Bank Hotel in Kingston was built in 1892. In those days, tourism was limited largely to the rich, the few, and the old. Tourism began to prosper in Jamaica after World War I, when improved methods of transportation made it easier for people to get from one country to the other. Indications were that in the early 1920s, the number of tourists visiting the island annually probably did not exceed a few thousand. By 1938, the figure had risen to 64,000, and in 1952, the number of arrivals almost doubled to over 104,000. In 1966, the number exceeded 345,000, and in 1970, nearly 415,000. In 1982, it exceeded 600,000. 1987 to 88 season, the number of visitors has exceeded 1 million a year and has continued to grow, partially as a result of the great increase in the arrivals of cruise ship passengers. Total arrivals for 1993 were 1,616,430. Only because of the white sandy beaches and pleasant weather, Jamaica's north coast has become the island tourist center, the main points being Montego Bay, Ocho and Port Antonio. Many tourists visit Kingston, but this city is most important as a commercial center and the seat of the government. Today, tourism is considered Jamaica's second most important earner of foreign exchange. Stores, restaurants, transportation, and many other activities that cater to tourists also provide direct employment in the industry. Many other Jamaicans in every sector of the economy earn part of their income from tourism. For example, farmers supply food to the hotels and restaurants, and skilled carpenters make furniture. The center of the tourist industry is the Jamaica Tourist Board. The attempts to organize a bureau responsible for marketing Jamaica led to the formation of Jamaica Tourist Association in 1910. This was when the first guidebook was created. The next important milestone came in 1922 when the government established the Tourist Trade Development Board. By 1954, the need for a more effective organization was felt. The present board was recognized in 1963 and a full-time director of tourism was appointed. There is also a Ministry of Tourism. A notable change in Jamaica's export economy since independence has been the development of non-traditional exports. These include flowers and ornamental plants, specialized tropical fruits, art and crafts. New growth industries include garment manufacturing, particularly as a result of the Caribbean Basin Initiative, data processing, music, and entertainment. Antonio, capital of the Portland region, is often referred to as the cradle of tourism in Jamaica. Tourism took root in this town when Banana King Lorenzo Baker, showing great foresight and entrepreneurial spirit, brought visitors to the island on his return from a trip abroad to sell bananas. The steamships used for transporting bananas had tourists on board as well. Those ships were for a long time the only mode of travel between Jamaica and other countries. The guest house Baker built for his workers and officers were also used to house these early Portland visitors. As the trips of Jamaica became more popular, Baker built the Titchfield Hotel on Titchfield Hill in the early 90s. Soon Port Antonio streets were filled with tourists, and Portland earned the title birthplace of Jamaican tourism. In 1905, the Titchfield Hotel was rebuilt and the magnificent Saint new structure had 600 feet of piazza and 400 rooms. It was said that no hotel this side of the Atlantic is provided with such convenience that minister so largely to the pleasure of travelers. The Titchfield Hotel became known for its afternoon tea on the piazza and its bathhouses. One of the hotel's claim to fame is that it was owned by famous Hollywood swashbuckler Errol Flynn, who died before he could implemented any of his plans to develop the property. The late 1960s, though, the hotel was destroyed by a fire. Today, only the ruins of his great landmark stand. The product has also evolved from all-inclusive to super all-inclusive. It has something for everyone. The tourist board and the Jamaican product now sell the destination based on individual attractions, from the Duns River Falls, Mystic Mountain, and Chaka adventures to adventures and cultural things to do. Prior to 1890, several lodging houses and inns existed. The number exceeded 1,400 in 1830. With the passing of the Hotel Act of 1890, the government encouraged the building of accommodation for the Great Exhibition of 1891. So hotels and resorts were set up in Kingston, Spanish Town, Monague, Mandeville, and Port Antonio, of which the most famous were the Titchfield in Port Antonio and the Myrtle Bank in Kingston. Others included the Queens, Rio Cobre, Monague, and Mandeville hotels. Great Exhibition was heralded as the first intensive effort to promote tourism in the island. Its principal purpose was to educate the people and awaken them from economic stupor and arouse their interest in the possibilities the country had. Among the exhibits were gadgets for curing and preparing ginger, spices, coffee, cocoa, and annatto, as well as fruit drying devices, small windmills, turbines, and other time and labor-saving contrivances. Antonio continues to be a center of Jamaican tourism today, while the Titchfield is long gone. In 1979, hotelier Errol Levy began construction on the Trident Castle as one of the largest private residences in all of the Caribbean. The 40,000 square foot edifice on 7 acres of seaside land has since become Port Antonio's iconic hotel and is much in demand for weddings, private events, and getaways for the rich and famous. The property also has a helicopter pad, Romanesque pool, and private chapel. Abraham Elias was a Jamaican businessman, entrepreneur, and hotelier acclaimed as the father of Jamaican tourism. As the first president of Jamaica Tourist Board, he guided the rise and boom in Jamaican tourism of the late 90s. Jamaica has 2 international airports. Palisadoes Airport, renamed Norman Manley in honor of Norman Washington Manley, the island's second chief minister, and Montego Bay Airport, now Sangster's International Airport, named after Sir Donald Sangster, Jamaica's second prime minister. A decision was made to build the runway for the then Montego Bay Airport in 1940. The construction of the facility was completed only on February 18, 1947. At the time of its completion, the town of Montego Bay was more likely a playground for the rich and famous and was considered even then, just as it is today, one of the premier vacation spots within the Caribbean. The first international airline to fly into the Montego Bay Airport was Pan American Airways, and in fact the American, which was more likely a small airdrome, was operated by Pan American until September 30, 1949, when the Jamaican government took control of the facility. Courtesy of these 2 airports, the island reached the 1 million mark for arrivals in 1986. Jamaica will soon have its third international airport, Ian Fleming International Airport, 5 miles from Ocho Formerly known as the Boscobel Airstrip, the facility has been expanded and upgraded to receive private international aircraft as well as the Dash 8.